good evening, and welcome to the Jamaica Funk Show. I'm KT, and tonight we are going to talk about some really good stuff. But before we tell you what we're going to talk about, let me introduce my co-host, Miss Johanna Bright.
Hello, people.
And Christos.
Yes.
So, how you guys been? You said what?
He said y'all.
Every time I want to be different. I'm not the same one. I want to say something different. I said yasas means in Greek, hello.
Oh, okay. So what does it mean in English?
Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, hello. Okay. And tonight our guest host is Miss Janine Ingram. Well, hello.
Wow.
Now that we have all that taken care
Yes. And Janine, let me just tell them a little bit about you. Janine is an author. She is the founder of The Love Journey, which is a spiritual journey that people take every morning at about 6 a.m. in the morning, Central Standard Time, on Blog Talk Radio. And she's also the author of Born to Be Rich. Mm-hmm. And you got another book that you're writing? Mm-hmm. And she's a life coach, correct?
Correct.
And just an all-around loving individual. So guys, give it up for Miss Janine Ingram. Once again.
Well, I love your last name right there. And it says a lot, Ingram. It just fills the person's mouth. Mrs. Ingram, baby. I love that.
I love you already. From my soul, not my heart.
Okay. And I would like to talk a little bit about...
Yeah, Christos is going to be full of it tonight, people.
I mean, really, he is.
Get ready.
I think he's flirting.
Please get ready.
As a matter of fact, I know he's flirting.
That's all right. There's nothing wrong with flirting.
Flirting
is a good thing.
He already told me he loves somebody.
Well, yeah.
For people's information, I'm already taken, but I'm not taken yet.
And that's for
Whatever that
another
means,
show.
make your own conclusion.
KT, so
Yes.
what's the topic tonight, girlfriend?
Well, our topic tonight is we're going to talk to Janine about the love journey. She's going to tell us about the love journey and the journey that they take every morning. She's going to also tell us about the 9th annual sunrise service that's coming up in August. Yes, I mean, 9 years. It's phenomenal. And just to think that you started with an iPod and a speaker on Chicago's lakefront. So I'm excited about that also.
Me too.
Also, we're going to talk about a little bit about hip hop. And we got Christos' thoughts. Christos is talking about the
cruel people.
The cruel people. And Joe?
I am doing my Ode to Women's Month, and it's called, so this is what I know about being a woman.
All right. So I want you guys to sit back, relax, and grab that last piece of jerk chicken and whatever it is that you're drinking. And let's get ready for some show enough reggae conversation. Well,
I remind.
Okay. So, we're back.
Yes, because we are.
And I want to talk a little bit about hip hop. Y'all know anything about hip hop? The origins of hip hop?
I know just a scooch of it. You know, I'm a Jane of all trades. I know a little bit of something about a lot of things. But yeah, I know a little bit about the origins of hip hop.
Well, I've been looking at this show called The History of Hip Hop.
Oh, that's interesting.
Really interesting.
Started in New York, right?
Started in New York City, absolutely, in the Bronx.
Right.
And it actually started as it was a party given by a guy by the name of Kool Herc.
Mm-hmm.
He gave a party. It started at I think it's 1520 Sedgwick in the Bronx. It was a project builder. because what was happening, what was going on in New York at the time, New York was literally burning. The Bronx was. It was literally burning. They had 12,300 fires in 1 year.
Wow.
In 1 year. And this was like the end of the 60s and the beginning of the 70s.
I remember that. And I
Those
don't
fires-
remember it, but I remember reading about it.
Yes.
And those fires started from?
They every time you turn around, somebody's house was burning, the projects was burning.
And then when you
Was
look
the
at
insurance
it,
involved, maybe?
when you look at it in history,
Not
when you
that I
look at
know
it in
of.
history, there was this movie made, and it was very devastating to me because it was a cute little movie with the little robots flying in the air or whatever. And they took this drive down the street, and it was just this wasteland of abandoned buildings and empty lots, and it didn't even look like it could be New York.
Well,
anywhere.
that's actually how it looked. It's actually, I mean, it was, everything was catching on fire for some reason. All
was it
the
a hot
it was
summer or
the
dry
projects.
summer or something?
No, I think what it was more violence going on. It was during the Reaganomic era where people were out of jobs, they were out of work, couldn't afford nothing. It was, this is a very poor community.
Mm-hmm.
And you had gangs, and you had drugs, and you had the hustlers and the pimps, and you had all of this stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so you had all of this crime element that, fire happened to be a part of this element. And so what they did was, this one guy, to kind of take people's minds off of what was going on in the Bronx at the time, because it was really violent at the time.
Mm-hmm.
He started having these parties. His name was Kool Herc. And, he started DJing. And nobody could DJ like Kool Herc could DJ. Because he was using 2 turntables and using the same record, but 2 of the same record.
Mm-hmm.
So he was getting this multiple sound from both these records. Well, not only scratching, but he had this thing that he called break. So he would like break the music. And that's how breakdancing got started. Like they would do this dance and they would break in with the breaks in the music. So that was the beginning of hip hop, so to speak, because of the 2 turntables and the same music. Then you had this guy called African Bambaataa. He came around and he started having these parties, and he's really the one who, got everything started. And Africa would bring the music of the Zulus and, the native African music, like the drums and what have you. And some of the music only had drums and scratching. And then you had like these guys called the Furious Five. They started rapping, so to speak, okay? But they put on this show like, Bootsy Collins, remember Bootsy and what is it? Funkadelics and Parliament. Yeah, well, I think Bootsy and Parliament kind of got their style from these guys, the Fantastic Five. Because the Fantastic Five, or the Furious Five, well, it was Fantastic Five and the Furious Five, but the Furious Five, you're right, was the first group. And they were the first one to actually go national and international, because they started performing and people started coming in droves to hear them do this rap and this music that they were doing. And even though they didn't have a lot of tune going in, but because they were funny and they were like bouncing off of each other, it was like each one could finish each one's lines.
So what does this consist? The hip hop is it?
Hip hop is a way of life, baby.
I understand, but
yeah,
they took what? The rap is inside there. What else? Is it
rap,
jazz mixed? What is that?
No, it came. It's a mixture of funk, soul, pop, jazz, reggae. I mean, it's just a mixture.
And the soul.
Yes, and the soul.
It's a fusion.
Thank you. It's a fusion.
Well, that's what I want.
So you had like the Furious Five. You had, and Furious Five is the ones that took Hip Hop International, because all these different countries started wanting them because they were making money back then. And African Bombada, they say he was the only DJ really making a whole lot of money. Like Russell Simmons said, you go to an Africa party, you're going to pay $6.50 to get in. If you go to a Cool Herc party, you only going to pay $1 to get in, which made the difference. And African Bombada was so bad, man, they had him downtown. They put him in all the downtown discos, because this is during the disco era. This was disco melting into hip hop, you know. And so
I can tell the difference anyway.
you can what from disco and
well, if
you can't.
Followed it, well, I don't know what kind of music you followed when you were a teenager, but when I was a teenager, it was kind of melding into it, like she said. It was disco. The radio stations were sectioning off. You know, we had WVON, WGCI, and the Johnson. You know,
V103
or and they all played.
It was WBMX.
WBMX was the first rap station. Well, it was the first black station, as you were saying, and it was the first all rap music.
See, before BMX, radio stations played all the music at one time. You got country, rock and roll, soul.
Can I direct something?
Blues, all in one station.
But BMX wasn't the radio station. It was WJPC.
That's the one I was.
That was the one that was the all black radio station. First black-owned radio station in Chicago, owned by Johnson Publishing
Company. Yep.
And it was the first all-rap radio station.
Right. And everybody listened to WJPC.
No, WBMX was national. That was the difference.
I know WBMX was national, but JPC, when Tom Joyner came in, and Tom Joyner came in 79. Because we did a piece, we did the Johnson.
She's gonna Google.
No, she don't have to.
I don't have
we got
to.
notes.
No.
Yeah, we did the Johnson Publishing. Yeah.
Can I interject something?
Yes.
Interject something here.
Go ahead.
No matter what kind of music we say, this got into that, none of this music, into my thinking, it was a socializing music.
Why?
All of it is socialized.
wait a
Can I
minute.
say my thought, please?
Yes, please.
Okay. Human beings are made to touch, feel, love, connect. What the heck the difference does it make if she's dancing over there, shaking her rear end, and he is over here? There is no human touch. So what if you do rapping and you're moving? There is no holding hands. Be together. The dances are separation from one to another. Am I wrong here?
Yes, you are, because what you
part
have to
I'm wrong?
understand is hip hop isn't just fast music.
What is it?
There are ballads.
Well, let me correct you.
Okay.
First of all, I used to hang out in New York during that time. That was like one of my favorite places to go in New York during the Studio 54 and the disco days and all of that. I used to go there all the time. And people were dancing together. They were touching one another.
They were not doing the waltz.
They were dancing together. They were touching one another. They had
they still do. What are you talking about?
I mean, really.
If they danced any closer together, they'd be one body.
And not only
She's
that,
over there and he's over here.
No. That's not how we dance. See, you don't go to black clubs.
And you should. What an eye opener for any music.
No. Yeah, no.
Unless.
But you haven't been in the stepper club when they do the walking.
He ain't been in no clubs, obviously, because
besides the stepping is something now.
Christos, where you go and
that was called bop.
When you go, you do your Greek dance. You do y'all's Greek dance.
I'm doing international dance.
But wait a minute. When you all do you all's Greek dance, the guys are over there dancing all by themselves.
That's not true.
They're
all
I've
simple
seen
dances.
you on video. I've
That's
seen your
just
little
one
video.
dance.
I
Out of
don't
box.
care. I've
Well, he
seen
never
your
went to the
Okay,
blue
so
light
let's
special
take-
for 25 cents in the basement with the blue
in the
light.
basement party with the black light. You mean?
Out of
Yeah,
2,000
we
Yeah,
dances.
yeah, the black light.
one.
Right. Oh yeah.
blue
You
light.
okay?
So here's the thing.
Okay.
From
For
your
25 cents.
Yes, the quarter parties. That's what they call them.
right.
And we
So
were
go ahead.
slow dancing.
Thank you.
And we
Grinding
didn't
up
want
against the
and we didn't want our
wall.
mothers to catch us.
That's right.
Slow dancing, yeah, but the slow dancing comes from European. The waltz, baby.
No,
That
no.
you're holding.
No, this ain't the waltz.
All right. So
I'm
here's the
telling
perspective.
you gotta come
Okay.
to some of our
It's like-
parties.
It's like I don't live where you live,
Okay.
right? So I come out here, I drive around, I go, oh, it's a nice place, but I don't know what's really going on behind the closed doors. I only know what I see with my eyes from a distance. And what you're looking at is hip hop from a distance, and you think it's one thing, but it's so much more. Especially when they just told you it's a fusion of music, which also makes it a fusion of dance and genres and history and people. The hip hop spans colors. The whole racial divide is not divided in hip hop. There are so many people your age and my age, everybody's age, who love hip hop because it does so many different things in so many different ways internationally.
Every time
Yes.
I dance on the disco, she was dancing over there, and I was
Right
dancing here
here.
and looking at each
Wow.
other and moving
Well, you
and
must
this
be-
and that.
Well, maybe
must
you
be-
should have moved a little
That's the
closer.
BG.
Right.
Maybe. So anyway,
You just have to move.
fever night fever.
Right. You gotta move in when it comes to dancing to that kind of music. You
We're gonna
move
stay
away
alive.
and you
Right.
move in. You get a little closer.
I'm
And you move
staying
in.
alive, staying alive.
Yeah, going down
I'm-
memory lane.
I'm staying alive.
oh, let's start dancing and show
I'm
me.
not gonna say that because I
Disco.
was listening to the Bee Gees on the way here. So
I love BG.
So, but anyways, the thing about hip hop is that nobody thought it would stay. Nobody thought back in the late 60s, early 70s that this new type of music, this new style music, this fusion of music would still be here today and going strong in 2017.
yeah, because you've got when I say international hip hop, you got not just hip hop here in America.
Oh, it's all
You
over
got
the world.
you got
China.
the Russians, the Chinese,
Yeah.
the Venezuelans. You got people in Australia.
They're
and
copying
Africa.
us anyway. They're copying
It
us.
doesn't matter.
And
It's
what they've
all
done
over
is
the
they're
world is what
taking
we're
it-
saying.
They've taken it and they've adapted it to their own culture, and
That's
it
wonderful.
blows up. Have you ever been to Cote d'Ivoire? When they have the hip hop concerts, there are insane. Everybody from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles away come to see one artist sing for one night. It's like the president showing up, Obama.
Not 45.
Yeah, no, we ain't pow.
But it's hip hop is huge, and if you just have to, well, I'm gonna say Google it. I'm gonna tell you to go get you an iHeartRadio and just play. You will hear so many different versions of hip hop music.
So,
I
anyways, guys, so much
I
for
don't
hip hop.
remember hip hop really from when I was in 8th grade, 7th grade, like when they hip. Y'all remember
Oh,
that?
my
That's
God.
the only time I remember when it came out. So
Yeah.
you're really telling me something that I didn't know because I really thought that was the beginning.
No.
I didn't
And-
know. I was 60s. I'm like, it was started.
Yeah,
even
the
before I
late
was born.
60s,
That's
late 60s, and
amazing.
then it didn't get started on the West Coast until the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
And the person who was the pioneer on the West Coast was
Run DMC.
no,
Mm-mm.
Ice-T.
Yeah.
Ice-T.
Was it Ice-T?
With 6, yes.
Wow.
With 6 in the morning. He's the one who actually came out with the gangster rap.
Gangster rap.
He started gangster rap.
But
he
now
started,
that's different than hip hop though.
Yeah. It is.
Well, no, it's all hip
It's
hop.
fusion into rap.
It's all hip hop. Rap and hip hop is all the same, and that's what I was learning. I took so many notes on my phone. It was like
Can't get enough.
I can't read all of this.
Right.
Matter of fact, I actually looked at Kumo D said he was inspired
I love
by
Kumo D.
me too. He was
I
inspired.
learned all the L words.
Well,
You remember?
You learned the what
Yeah.
All the L words.
all the L words.
Laborious,
Yeah.
limited. He had. Remember when he had to fight with LL Cool J? They were having a, back and
Yeah,
forth.
they were battling.
And so he took every
because
battle.
the battle
L word.
started in New York.
Right.
Right.
You
Yeah.
remember? So
No,
okay.
she don't remember.
She's trying to say she's
I'm not that I'm too young. It's just that I was raised differently.
Well, that had nothing to do with being raised because
Well,
look,
Christos
when you were
doesn't know. How come I can't know? Don't
because
start.
Christos didn't grow up here in America. Number one, he didn't go to school here
Yes,
in
he
America.
Yes, he did.
He went to
what did
Truman
he go
College.
with? 15?
No, that's not school.
What is
that's college.
Oh, okay.
A lot of
That's
people
college.
learn music when
So-
they go to college. They actual people. A lot of young people that when I came up, they got introduced to all kinds of music
listen.
in college. By doing all kinds
In the
of different
basement
things.
with the black light.
Blue light for me.
Okay, in
Okay,
the
that's
corner.
the 60s and the 70s.
grinding, okay.
I wasn't born yet.
The black light is it turns bluish purple.
Oh, okay.
Right, and
it's
it makes
called
it makes
black light.
yes, it's called a black light,
Oh, okay.
and that's what you call the blue light.
Oh, so she got it right.
Yeah.
It's not the
It
light
look blue
that
to
they
me.
use in crime scenes when they try to find all
Oh yes,
the-
it is. Yes, it
It's
is.
the same
Oh yes,
light.
it is. It's the same light.
I said that.
It
That's right.
shows. It
The
shows
same light.
everything. It shows the lint on you.
Blood
Matter of fact, you
splatter.
look like you got more lint on than what you really do have on you.
We have segued
But-
off into something else.
It's a crime now. That's what hip hop may do to you.
Well, but
Gangsta
you know,
rap.
but you know, the thing about it is, it is interesting how all of that is still here today when everybody, including the police in California and New York, all of them really tried to dismantle it. And even the President Bush and Reagan even tried to dismantle.
Oh,
They
yeah.
thought it was a fad.
I remember seeing those. Matter
Yeah.
of fact, because I was doing some research on something. I remember. Oh, this was back during the past, campaign for the president, and I saw how they were having these conferences, and they were having these news conferences, dismantling, saying, and hip hop is bad for our children, and it brings about drugs and alcohol,
And the police.
crime.
What is the
Because,
lyrics on it? I mean, you just
Wait a
talking
minute,
about the music.
I'll tell you about the lyrics.
We got to take a
Ice
break.
T,
though.
we're gonna take a break in 1 minute. Ice Cube, another one of the gangster raps from the West Coast,
He was with NWA.
California, but NWA, niggas with attitudes. That's what they were. He had a song that said, "Fuck the police," and
That was NWA.
that was
That's what she said.
NWA.
Yeah.
Niggas with
Yeah.
attitude. But Ice Cube is
Was
the
in it.
one. No, he's the one that wrote it. He wrote it because Dr. Dre. He said Dr. Dre would be in jail every week. Every week.
Wow.
He said sometimes a weekend he would be in jail from a traffic stop to whatever. And this is how they were doing black guys in California. What he said was the police were gangs in themselves, and they were constantly bullying and thugging them. So he wrote this song because of the fact of Dre being in jail all the time for BS reasons. He wrote this song called "Fuck the Police."
She said niggas with attitudes and fuck the police, but they was in jail for BS reasons.
Well, okay, bullshit reasons.
Someone
I don't want you to know my extensive vocabulary of cuss words.
Well,
I got one.
But you clear? Okay.
But it's interesting. You said that. I just saw an interview where Tupac said the first time he went to jail was for jaywalking in California.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
But that's just indicative of the things that happen to black people in this country, and it's indicative of how whenever black people try to start something and gain momentum and establish ourselves in our own right, like with the towns and Black Tulsa, right?
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
It gets destroyed, and
That's
this
how
is
the
the
Gap
one
got their
thing.
name.
Yes,
Well,
the Gap Band got their name.
Right.
Tulsa,
Right.
Black Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Right.
Actually, it was the gap between.
Greenwood,
Gap.
Pinewood.
Yeah, there was a gap in between. It was a guy
It was
gave
three
me that.
streets.
It was 3 streets. Thank you.
Greenwood, Pinewood, and I forgot the 8th Street.
Yeah,
Right, right.
Yeah. So
But-
that's where it all came from.
Let's take a break real quick. We're going to come back in a minute. Well, Ironman. Okay, guys, we're back. And so let's talk to Janine. Let's talk about this love journey. Tell us about the love journey.
Ooh, well, I've been so enthralled with all this good conversation.
I know.
And I just want to say I learned a lot. I'm super excited. Well, the love journey started when, wow, 4 of my friends used to call me all the time, like, Janine, you have the most amazing personality. You live from your soul. No, I'm just joking. And they wanted to know what was the key to my personality. And so I was like, well, I'm thinking I'm just me, so I'm not really understanding. So they wanted to start what they call a prayer line and understand how Janine thinks, basically. And so it was just me, 5 of my friends. And before we knew it, one day at a time, it became thousands of people all around the world. And then we eventually named it the Love Journey. And you were part of the process of renaming it.
Yes.
Because it was called the prayer line, then it went to the source line, then it became the Love Journey.
The love
And
journey, right.
the mission of the Love Journey is to educate, elevate, and motivate the consciousness of people to really get to understand the true reason why we come to the planet is really to understand love and who we are as human beings, but human meaning as whatever we want to call God. So, we really teach and bring speakers and other people from all around the world who really talk to us about what it means to really be God on the planet, or goddess on the planet.
Yes.
So we've had some amazing speakers. We had Queen of Ford, Les Brown. We had an Indian shaman today who was phenomenal. So we've had different people from all around the world, from different religions, understanding that we all come together with one mind, one soul, and one love.
And the thing that I really loved about the prayer line, actually, that's where I got my start on the prayer line.
Yeah. KT's after party.
KT's after party. And we used to hang out for a long
Till
time.
11 o'clock.
And we started at 6 a.m. in the morning. But the prayer line would end at 7, and then it would be KT's after party. And we would party.
Yeah. We played music, but we always had great topics.
Yes, we did. Yes,
The
we
only
did.
thing I don't like when people start talking about religion thing, and God and comes into your life and will lift you, your spirits, you'll be brand new. Soon as they talk about money, I'm done.
Well,
Most people are.
Well, we didn't.
So-
we didn't.
But money is spiritual. Money is God. Money is just
I
another
understand, but
expression
they
of
come
God.
up on TV, they talk, the prayer line, give us your money, send us money, send us
You
your
know what,
car,
Christoph,
send us your
You're
bank
not talking
account.
about
Well-
somebody who's trying to help and lift anybody up spiritually.
Well,
And that's the problem.
Let
right
me
there.
let me just clear something up here.
Yes.
Because the prayer line wasn't a religious thing.
What
Thank
was
you.
it?
It wasn't even about religion. It was a spiritual thing. It was about uplifting the spirits and the souls and teaching us how to love. And it wasn't anything about money, because when people gave money, they gave money because they wanted to. It was never asked for. We never asked for money. Okay? People, if they ever made any kind of donations to the prayer line, they did it because they seen that what we brought to the table was well worth contributing to and donating to. It was never a conversation of you got to tithe or any of that. It was never that.
Every time, though, you see preachers on TV, they want to make it sound so big. They show millions of people in their church with lights and we're here for you. But I never seen all those thousands of people that fill out these big churches, filling and building irrigation for a village that doesn't have it.
That's true.
But they making themselves all look good with their shiny shoes. They listen to the preacher. They feel good for themselves. This is all fake stuff. Fill up stadiums and donate all the money and buy computers to the inner cities, to the remote villages in the world. What are you showing me?
And then,
Well-
the thing is, people are going to believe what they want to believe. You can say what you say about it, but they are there because somebody wants to buy into what they're selling. what we're talking about right here, you're the flip side of what they're talking about, which
Absolutely.
is completely different.
Yeah.
So
because-
what are you teaching? Like what? Well, explain me so I understand.
To master yourself. That's the whole thing. It's all about mastering self. And that's it. That's
Yeah.
the only thing you come, because you are God, whether you want to believe it or not. You are. And so our goal on this planet is to master self. And
Yes,
that's
there
what
I
teach.
agree. There I
So
agree.
that's what I teach.